Introduction, Part 3. The Bank of Amsterdam. The Bank of Amsterdam was established in the year 1609 in response to a problem which emerged in small states such as Genoa or Hamburg, whereby the local currency was not desirable for international trade, i.e., merchants did not wish to use it, and in preference they elected to use coins of neighbouring states which were more internationally recognized and accepted in foreign trade. In particular, coins such as the Mexico dollars was well trusted to have a specific, well-known amount of silver of an ascertained purity. This was important because these coins, if so desired, could be melted down and formed into bullion or items such as trinkets, jewelry, snuff boxes, etc. People knew exactly how much silver was contained in a Mexico dollar, so it would have been more effective as a durable, portable thing, desirable in exchange, for which other commodities could be exchanged, i.e. bought. To add all this, there were also French crowns, Dutch guilders and stivers, English silver coin, ducatoons, Ritz dollars, Portuguese coin, new louis d'or, old louis d'or, ducats, among others. If a small state chose to reform its currency, melt down the old coin and cast the gold or silver into new coin while altering the ratio of precious metal to other metal, then this would not alter the fact that merchants did not wish to use this national currency in international trade. The myriad coins which were used in international trade each weighed something different to each other, and each had a different alleged purity of precious metal which could not be guaranteed and ascertained without melting the coin down. Frauds might emerge where a coin had less gold than promised, and a merchant is an expert in trade, not in coins and metallurgy. She, 1, needed some banking system whereby a fixed known quantity of gold of guaranteed purity could be reliably exchanged readily. Prior to the introduction of paper money, which was originally instituted by numerous domestic commercial banks, unlike the Bank of Amsterdam, and prior to the institution of banks for international trade, like the Bank of Amsterdam, payments made by smaller merchants were orchestrated by what was called a merchant bill drawn upon a large, reputable trader by an agent of this trader for an additional fee. The system worked as follows. A small factory or trader in Manchester wishes to lend some stock to a larger, reputable merchant in London, such as a large wholesaler or a large retailer, Both parties wish this vendible stock to be sold on to the consumer. This merchant in London is deemed trustworthy, and this trustworthy wholesaler in London does not pay up front for this advanced stock, but draws up a bill of exchange, also known as a merchant's bill, which is an agreement that this large trustworthy firm will pay it within 6 months' time from hence. The small factory or trader in Manchester is the supplier of stock. The larger reputable merchant in London has a debt to the small manufacturer in Manchester. Within 6 months' time, it is hoped that this stock has been sold to the consumer. So the smaller manufacturer is owed a certain amount, say 10 gold sovereign coins. This debt, this certificate as the merchant's bill, can be sold for 9.5 golden sovereigns if the Manchester merchant desires to lose the difference for immediate money. And the purchaser of this bill gains half a sovereign when the date of maturity arrives and this money becomes payable. This is how the banking system operated before the establishment of banks, where a trading individual was facilitated to have the keeping of a bank account. But here lay a subtle problem in international trade. A reputable London merchant would pay in English silver coin, and a reputable Paris merchant would pay in French silver coin. If there would have been more silver contained in the total weight of a certain number of English coin in comparison with the total weight of a certain number of French coin, then it would be more profitable for a merchant to obtain a bill upon a reputable London merchant than a reputable French merchant. And so this would encourage a French manufacturer to sell his stock in England rather than in France. And also would encourage the English manufacturer to sell his stock in England rather than in France. As a consequence, silver would leave England and be taken to France. Silver, i.e. money or cash or hard currency today, always gravitates towards the place where industrious labour is being performed, for which stock is required, capital or material stock, to generate profit, and hence to employ workers within a profitable enterprise. But that is an aside for the present moment within this discussion. If more silver is obtained in England than in France, the exchange is said to favour France and is against England, whereby the French merchant is said to gain a premium which is paid by the London merchant, and silver leaves England for France. Contrary to this, if more silver would be obtained in France than in London, then the French merchant who obtains English silver is said to give a premium, and the exchange is said to favour England and be against France. This is the theory. In reality, before the reformation of the English silver coin in King William's time, 1696, the worth of the English coin was 25% below the worth of silver contained that it should have had, as these coins had often been clipped and were also extremely worn. The exchange between England and France was said to be 25% against France, and hence in favour of England. I like to remember this as the exchange favours the vendor of actual material goods, if they are to be encouraged by an augmentation in the receipt of a higher amount of silver upon payment. So we have that in King William's time, the worth of English coin was 25% below the worth of freshly minted silver coin. And because of this, the exchange between England and France was said to be 25% in favour of England. However, if the payment was made in English coin which was non-clipped and non-worn, the French manufacturer who cashed a merchant's bill upon a reputable London merchant could then obtain more silver than the calculated amount, i.e. what Smith called the real exchange, which means the actual amount of pure silver contained within 10 specific coins may have been greater than the agreed amount, and hence the French merchant exporting to London might get the premium. If the French merchant could somehow select the better quality, newly, freshly minted coin, which had not been clipped or worn, then the French merchant would obviously obtain more silver than if the merchant had been paid in old, worn, clipped coin. The Bank of Amsterdam was a formulation of a banking system for international trade which avoided ambiguities and variables. So let's now talk about the Bank of Amsterdam.